Chelsea sailed comfortably into the UEFA Europa League quarter-finals after beating Dynamo Kiev by 5-0 and 8-0 on aggregate. Watch until the end of this match review to hear all of my thoughts on the game. Hello people, welcome to my channel, welcome to another video. This is my review of the game which took place earlier in the Europa League last 16 second leg between Dynamo Kiev and Chelsea, which Chelsea ended up winning by 5-0. So what I'm going to do for you guys in terms of this review is that firstly I'll be giving you the lineup in which Maurizio Sarri fielded at the start of the game, then I'll be giving you my thoughts on the game itself, and lastly, I'll be giving you my thoughts on Chelsea's upcoming Premier League fixture against Everton, which will be played at Goodison Park, and I believe the kickoff time is at 4:30 PM UK time. So without further ado, let's get straight into this match review. So getting into the lineup in which Maurizio Sarri fielded at the start of the game, he went with his trademark 4-3-3 with that deep line playmaker involved, and in terms of the personnel he chose, he went with Kepa in goal, he went with a back four from right to left of Cesar Azpilicueta, Andres Christensen, Antonio Rudiger and Marcos Alonso. He went with a midfield three of DKVCHE in that deep line playmaker role with Ruben Loftus-Cheek and N'Golo Kante just ahead of him, and he went with a front three from right to left of Callum Hudson-Odoi, Olivier Giroud and Willian. That's the lineup in which Maurizio Sarri went with. So getting into my thoughts on the game, and as always, starting off with the first half. I thought that in the first half we didn't allow Dynamo Kiev to create too much. We pegged them back and we scored 3 brilliant goals. Getting into those 3 goals, the first one came from a Willian corner. It was an absolute peach of a ball to Olivier Giroud, and he just hits it into the back of the net with his dominant left foot. That was the first goal. The second goal was also scored by Olivier Giroud, and this time it came from the left. It came from a Marcos Alonso cross. He whips in a pretty low cross, but it was a really good one. It fell to Olivier Giroud's right foot this time, and again he just hits it into the back of the net. But obviously, of course, like I just said, it was with his weaker right foot. Marcos Alonso scored the third one himself, and again it came from out wide. It came from a Callum Hudson-Odoi cross. He just put in a low cross, and Marcos Alonso beats his man and puts it into the back of the net. This time I don't know what foot it was with, but he just slams it into the back of the net. And at half time we were leading by 3-0 and of course 6-0 on aggregate. Getting into my thoughts on this, just before I get into my thoughts on the second half, I just thought that overall we were pretty good in the first half, if not excellent. But getting into my thoughts on the second half, I didn't think that we started the second half too well. We did allow Dynamo Kiev to swarm at us, but they didn't score, so that's the important thing. But even if they did score, it wouldn't really have mattered, because we obviously had the 3-0 advantage from the first leg, and we were leading 3-0 at the time, so it probably wouldn't have mattered anyway, or it wouldn't have mattered, may I say. But yes, we didn't start the second half too well. Dynamo Kiev did hit the post, and we had the ball cleared off the line. So we didn't start the second half too well, but after that, we kind of controlled ourselves and took control of the game, and we scored 2 more brilliant goals. The fourth one came from Olivier Giroud, and he obviously got his hat-trick because he took home the match ball, but it was a header, and it was a perfect hat-trick in the end for him. Right foot, left foot, and of course a header. I cannot remember who crossed it in, but it definitely came from a cross, and he just heads it in. Oh yes, it was Willian who crossed it in from the right hand side, and he just heads it into the back of the net. The keeper had absolutely no chance of saving that because it was too close to him. But that was our 4th goal, and our 5th and final goal of the match came from Callum Hudson-Odoi. Now this was an absolutely sexy counter-attacking goal. I cannot remember who slotted the ball into him. I think it was Loftus-Cheek. Don't quote me on that, by the way. Don't quote me on that, because I have a bad memory. But yeah, Callum Hudson-Odoi gets into the box after receiving the ball from midfield, and he just slots it past the keeper, and that was 5-0, and that was full time. We ended up winning 8-0 in aggregate, which is emphatic. But yeah, we could have had more. but who cares? Chelsea are into the quarterfinals. Overall, a really good performance, and we deserve to be in the quarterfinals. So that's my thoughts on the game. Now, to conclude this match review, I'm going to give you my thoughts on Chelsea's upcoming fixture against Everton, which will of course be played at Goodison Park on Sunday. I can see this being a really tough game because the last 2 games in which we've played against Everton in the Premier League have ended in 0-0 draws, and Everton have made it really hard for us in both of them. They've made it really hard for us in both of them. In the last game in which we played in the Premier League at Goodison Park, which of course ended in a 0-0 draw like I said, Everton did next to nothing in the game, and they almost snatched a 1-0 win in the dying minutes of the game, in added time, may I say. But yes, we had 25 shots in that game, 5 on target, and the amount of shots in which we had on target was also the amount of shots in which Everton had in the entire game. They had none on target. But yes, I think if you go back to my match review for that game, I thought that we deserved to win because of the amount of chances we had. But to be honest, we were at fault for the lack of ability to be clinical in front of goal, because like I said already, we had the ball cleared off. Everton cleared the ball off the line on a few occasions. But yes, we cannot do that against Everton because they do have a slightly better side, shall I say. They do have a few additions to the side in which they had last season, and they do tend to sit back against us and make it really hard for us. And I do see them doing that again. They did it to Liverpool, I believe it was a couple of weeks ago, and they ended up getting a 0-0 draw. So there's nothing that says that they can't do it to us, because Everton, I think I'd class Everton as a pretty good side who can cause anyone trouble on their day. Everton, to be honest, are hot and cold, but I see this being a really hard game. Like I said, right now I can see it being a draw because we struggle to break teams down. But hopefully we get the win, because it would be nice to beat Everton again. But yes, that's my thoughts on Chelsea's upcoming fixture against Everton, and that is of course the end of my match review. I hope you all enjoyed it. Like, comment and subscribe to my channel if you're new. I'll see you all very soon for some more videos. Come on you Blues, and peace.